The following bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds for the vacant BAMMA World Middleweight Championship. Introducing first the man standing to my left and fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighed in at 184.5 pounds. He is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu specialist. His record, 18 victories opposite 9 defeats with 16 wins via submission. Fighting out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, Jorge Bezerra. His opponent stands across the cage to my right and fights out of the blue corner. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall. His official weight, 183.5 pounds. He is a striker and steps inside the cage flawless at 12-0. Fighting out of Doncaster, England, Askham. Your referee, Trevor Mitchell.
Okay, gentlemen, let's go. You're fighting for the BAMMA middleweight world title. Do you have any questions on your rules? No, thank you. Okay, I want you to defend yourselves at all times and obey my instructions. Touch your gloves.
Here we go, getting ready for the middleweight championship of the world. The belt right now is vacant, so neither one of these guys are champs. Michelin in the black shorts, Askham in the white shorts.
Askham's got a 3-inch reach, and he should be using it right now instead of letting Michelin close distance that easy. He needs to get that jab out there, some front kicks. Use that height he has to keep him off, because he's closing pretty easily.
It looks a lot more than even 3 inches there, Ken. It looks like even that Michelin is squatted down a little bit, and he might be a small 6 inches or 6 foot, as opposed to the tall 6'3" by Scott Askham. Easy takedown, easy swing through.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was a takedown. I think that was more Askham coming in, but Michelin just dropping to his back because this is where he wants to be, but I don't think he wants his head up against the fence.
Oh, good position, get ready to swing out. Climb his feet up, climb his legs up. Michelin's getting ready to swing underneath. He's got to catch that head. If he can catch Scott's head, he can go ahead and get him swept over.
His head's right there.
Got his arm caught, has the leg caught.
Look at that, Frank. His head's right there. If he could just get his head, there it is.
There it is, caught the head. Now he has the arm, looking for an armbar finish. Very, very early in his first round.
He's going to be patient, though. Look how patient he is. He just kind of like, he didn't force it at all.
Good job by Scott.
Yeah, he's not going to get tired either. It seems like Michelin is real patient. He swung that leg over. He didn't have it. He didn't force it. He stayed in good position, so he didn't let the guy pass guard, ask him pass guard, and now he's doing it again.
He's so very dangerous from the bottom, Michelin is, that it's very difficult to stop getting strikes on him because he's always looking for another submission.
But look at his face. I mean, look at his positioning and his posture. He's just like, it looks like he's just so relaxed and he's not using any energy, and yet he's still moving and attacking.
Scott doing a good job. Askham pushing up Michelin's head up against the cage, allowing him to slow down a little bit, not letting him get his legs back up. And now getting down some good ground and pound. Some nice hard elbows through in there.
Yeah, he kind of rolled with those like a boxer does. When you get hit, you just kind of roll that head down. And he's real relaxed, rolled the head. Still took some shots. I don't like people being on the fence here like that, because it really does take away you from being able to move and be able to get out of the way of shots, and your head's right there for them to hit. So Askham should be taking advantage of that right now, is sit up a little bit and just start throwing punches at him since his head's right there.
Michelin needs to work a little bit more, get away. Scott, if he decides to, can sit up, get some punching down. What do you think that Michelin will try to do from this position if he decides to stay here? What submissions do you think he's going to be able to get into?
Well, I think Michelin's waiting for Askham to posture up and strike him, and then he's going to pop up. But Michelin's not, Askham's not doing that, but at the same time, Askham should be taking advantage of having him against the fence and being able to throw punches, and he's not doing it. Michelin's
doing a great job. Every time there's any kind of space, he gets that heel back on the hip, keeps his knee nice and high on the right side, but now he's getting hit again. He's cross-grabbing that far wrist, which is allowing Scott's right hand to be free, raining down blows.
He needs to be doing more of that. I mean, he really does, because this is a great opportunity for him to really do some damage, and he's letting it pass him by. He really needs to get after it here and take advantage of it.
Nice cutting elbow down the center right there. Doesn't quite split open Michelin, puts him right on the bridge of his nose.
Well, right here he needs to posture up and start using those elbows and some short punches in there, and start taking advantage of of that head being pushed against the fence. There he goes. He needs to do a lot more of that, though. There he goes. He wants to finish this fight. He really needs to get after it and do more of that. Even if he makes it through the round, which is Michelin, if Askham punches him and keeps punching him, he's going to do a lot of damage for that next round.
120 left in this first round, and so far it's gone kind of back and forth, even though Michelin's been on the ground for most of it, just because he had that quick armbar attempt in the very, very beginning, and then Askham's been controlling position and being able to swing and do as he pleases.
Yeah, and then one thing that Askham has to be careful of is that because Michelin is so adept on the ground and really good at hitting submissions, he can't relax at all or he'll find himself on his back or submitted. There he goes. Now he needs to fly right now.
He's got a good cross guard going in there, but Michelin is turning under, about to give up his back.
You see how he's blocking the wrist? Michelin's blocking his wrist as he turns his shoulders. He's not blocking the punches, but he's blocking that choke by keeping his hands inside. So if he does roll to his side, Askham can't attempt to choke and get behind him.
Good position change by Michelin. Get his back up against the cage now. He needs to get all the way up if he wants to get out of this position. There's only 25 seconds left in this first round, and so far he's being dominated the entire time from a positional standpoint, even though the fight is still relatively close.
Yeah, Michelin's definitely losing the fight right here. He's allowing Askham to go ahead and push his aggressiveness on him. I know he's attempting and trying to get in position, but that's not enough in MMA. You really have to get position and start using these submissions and tap them out.
Heels again right on the hip as we end the first round. Obviously, we have to give that round to Scott Askham because he's on top the entire time, pushing the pace. Michelin, though, very, very close to getting an armbar submission in the very beginning of the first round, but didn't quite get there. If you're Michelin and you're Michelin's coach right now, you're in his corner, what are you telling Michelin to get ready to do come out the second round?
I'm telling him, listen, we're not in a jiu-jitsu class where you can lay and pray. This is MMA, and it's very fast, and you can't wait for a submission.
A little redness on the side of Michelin's head, but nothing major. He did take a lot of elbows, a lot of punches on the bottom, but he didn't get overly crushed while he was down there, which means he's still in the game. But you're right, Ken, this is not a jiu-jitsu match. You can't just lay there and hope he's gonna catch something. He's gotta be a lot more aggressive from the bottom, come out this second round if he ends up on the bottom again. But he should try to end up being on top to try to get some ground and pound.
Well, I'd like to see some of his striking skills here in this round, and Michelin's striking skills, and see if he can't land some shots on Askham. But let's see, because he's going to have to change his thought process because he got dominated last round.
And here we go, the beginning of the second round. Michelin being a little bit more aggressive, at least in stature, pushing himself forward. Askham still very relaxed.
You know, and I like Michelin's movement and how he bounces on his feet. He seems to go back, he moves to the side a little bit, so it looks like he's got some skill there. I'd like to see him try and use it, but he goes for that shot and the takedown.
He's going to end up on the bottom again because the way that Askham has gone and sprawled and turned the corner.
He didn't set it up. I mean, he did not set it up. He shot from far away. And
good sweep,
nice
incredible sweep. Good job by Michelin to end up back on top. A great positional change, ends up underneath. You know, we were just saying, Ken, like you were saying, like he didn't set that shot up. He just ended up conceded the position because that's where he wanted to be. Very, very tight head and arm position right now, all the way to side, knee on belly now. This is Michelin's top game. He's incredible. Honestly, if you're Scott Askham right now, I'm in his corner, you're pretty much yelling at him, Ken, get back up to your feet right now, do whatever you got to do.
I'm yelling, push that knee off the belly, turn your hips out, get to your feet, get in that north-south position with him, belly to belly. But don't stay here because eventually he will get the mount, and he just did.
Great transfer to mount without even really looked effortless, taking his position to get there. Now he's in nice and tight. His heels are wrapped around the legs of Scott Askham. So now Askham's in a position where now he's not only mounted, but even if he tries to turn to give up his back or to try to change positions, he can't do it unless Michelin wants him to. How do you think Michelin should go ahead and try and finish this fight from this position, Ken?
If I was Michelin right now, I'd be really trying to move up high and work for an armbar, or I would ground and pound, but I'd be getting more busier than I am right now. Askham, all he needs to do is hold him and get a stand up here because really he doesn't want to make a mistake, turn his shoulders and end up in an armbar or flip over and end up in a choke.
Oh, look, he rolls over. Michelin rolled over for the armbar and completely missed. Ends up giving up position. Now he's on the bottom getting elbowed. Big heavy elbows by Askham, coming in heavy and hard. Now he's trying to finish this fight. He realizes the position he's in now.
He needs to be real careful too because as we've seen in many, many years, when you start getting crazy with punches, you end up in an armbar. So great, keep being aggressive, keep throwing those punches, but also know that you got to watch them legs. If they come up high under your armpit, you need to push the hips back down and then go back to driving those punches. Right now, Askham's sitting there, and you see how Michelin's got that arm trapped. There he goes, he got it out, but he doesn't, Askham can't let him trap his hands or his arms, because Michelin's real fast at putting his legs up around there and puts you in an arm bar. And then transitioning to a choke. He's very good at that.
Very fluid, very fast on the bottom, Michelin is, and Scott Askham's doing a great job of nullifying everything, except right now he's getting tied up a little bit and slowing down. Now, Ken, do you think he's slowing down because he's put up so much energy getting off the bottom, now he's on top trying to finish the fight? He's slowing down because of that, or is he slowing down because he's trying to be cautious to keep Michelin from grabbing hold of his wrist so tight?
I think that Michelin's really putting a lot of pressure on Askham with the movement that he has with his jiu-jitsu skills, and he's really pushing him because Askham knows he almost got caught there one time because he relaxed for a minute. So Askham's not relaxing. He's really putting a lot of pressure on himself to make sure that he doesn't put himself in a bad position.
Smart position to back out. Oh, caught him with a knee right in the rib.
Bad.
Oh,
right
he gets taken down. He gave up top position, backs out to let Michelin get back in and get top position himself.
Remember we just talked about not being over-aggressive or putting yourself out there and being put yourself in a bad position because you're being too aggressive. This is what you talk about. He threw that hard knee without even thinking about being taken down, and now he's in a bad spot, and he was really winning the fight. He was winning the fight, dominating the fight, and now he's on the bottom.
Minute 10 left in the second round. Michelin now in control of this fight, in control of this round, doing a great job of maintaining the pace. Lost the first round to the fact he was on his back the entire time, because Scott Askham held him there. But this second round, I believe he's doing enough for the last minute left to be able to go ahead and win this round and give it a split. So then it's any man's guess coming to the third round, but there's still plenty of time for anything to happen here, for anything to change where the judges can swing their way to either go back to Scott or to keep Michelin winning this round as well.
Yeah, and it's like Askham's doing a great job. He's being aggressive, he's staying aggressive, but at the same time, he also needs to make sure that he doesn't relax on the idea that this guy is a great jiu-jitsu specialist, and he needs to make sure he remembers that as he's being aggressive.
He's changing, he's moving his position. Scott's being very aggressive from the bottom. Heel on hip, trying to push his way out, changing head position, changing body position, now going to high guard, and just not finding a position really to catch Michelin off. He's in an armbar position now if he wants to take it, but he doesn't seem like he's trying to do anything other than make Michelin back out and back away from him.
Yeah, and really right now, see how he's getting his hips out. He needs to turn those hips all the way over, throw that leg over. Now he just lost the arm though. Transvision in a triangle choke, but he's winning this round because he's very aggressive, and Michelin's just kind of being patient and waiting, and he can't do that.
Right at the bell, Michelin goes ahead and hits him in the head with his quick punch. I really enjoy how this back and forth change has been going. Michelin, she was old school Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from the bottom, able to get back on top, able to put himself in position. Ken, you go ahead and walk us through the replay real quick? Yeah,
right here you see Askham. This is how he's winning the fight right here. He's just being aggressive, but at times a little bit over-aggressive, but this is how he's winning it. He's really just cutting loose, landing elbows and punches, and Michelin, for some reason, he's just taking them. It's not like he's even moving or trying to get out of the way.
I can see the judges right now scoring this fight 20-18 so far for Askham, because even when he was on the bottom, he was very, very aggressive with his jiu-jitsu game. He was throwing elbows, throwing punches. I think he scored quite a bit, and Michelin just doesn't seem like he's under duress. Like, it doesn't seem like he needs to lift the game up at all because he thinks he's winning.
Yeah, I tell you, we're going to see right now on how much Askham has put out and whether or not that fatigued him enough for Michelin to be able to impose his will on him on the stand-up or the ground now. Because he did, oh, nice head kick.
Wow.
But Askham did use a lot of energy in those rounds, and Michelin just kind of just went with the flow a little bit, but if he's losing the fight because of it, and if Askham doesn't slow down, then it didn't pay off for him.
Not one punch has been thrown so far that I believe by Michelin this entire fight. He hasn't thrown one punch or one kick. It's all been grappling this entire time.
And even when he's been on the ground, it's almost like he's in a jiu-jitsu match where he's being patient and taking his time. And in MMA, man, that stuff's gone. You have to go. There's time limits now. There's rounds now, and there's not very many of them. And so you really have to push yourself and win rounds, because you lose 2 rounds and you're in a hole.
Sometimes I believe a lot of the guys now are, as Michelin just concedes takedown and concedes the bottom position, looking for a knee bar real quick, trying to swing over. That I think a lot of these guys now in MMA, they don't have that ability to go ahead and step up and swing in and start right away and go heavy and hard.
He's trying for a heel hook.
He's got it in. He doesn't have his elbow wrapped around it yet, so it's still kind of a little bit loose.
What he needs to do is put his feet on his hips, kick him back
There he goes.
like that. But his feet are dropping too low, so he doesn't have it.
He also put his own arm underneath his body, so he's one arm short now as it's tucked underneath.
He's really in a bad spot right now because Askham can hit him at will like he's doing now.
Hammering down with hammer fists, elbows, and punches. Askham taking control of this round here at the 3:23 mark of the third round.
Bad thing about going for leg locks is if you miss it, you got to move. You can't stay there because your legs are tied up in a bad spot and the guy can hit you at will.
The biggest thing with leg locks, Ken, just like you said, is that once you realize you've lost it or you're not going to get it, you got to get moving because
boom, explode up.
2 or 3 elbows to the head will change the entire tide of the fight.
It's, you know, and listen, this is right here is about will. One guy wants it and the other guy's just kind of waiting for something to happen. And
it seems like the Michelin is waiting on Askham to make a mistake.
Yes.
And Scott is in here fighting from a level of desperation, trying to win this fight.
He knows that he has to push the pace, and he is pushing the pace, whereas Michelin almost like doesn't believe that he can actually go that hard that long, and he's just waiting for an opportunity. And I tell you, in today's MMA, that ain't gonna cut it.
These guys are in great shape now. They all come in well-rounded, even though they may have a specialty in one art form or another. They're well-rounded in all aspects of the mixed martial arts game. And we're seeing it here from Scott Askham, who was very active on the bottom of the second round, and he's very active now on top and trying to finish this fight, but not giving Michelin any space to get anything going.
Well, here's an opportunity, and you know, I tell you, Michelin looks tired. He really does. He looks like he's tired, and he looked to me like he was the one trying to conserve his energy, and Askham was giving it all, and Askham looks the fresher. He's bouncing up and down, and that, you know what? A lot of that has to do with confidence too. When you're actually winning a fight.
Wow,
that was a good shot.
Just missed the side of the head of Michelin. If he got caught that uppercut, I pretty much think the fight would have been over at that position. Concedes again, right to position. I'm wondering, Ken, do you think Michelin's coaches should be saying something to him at this point? You've done that 4 times already. Don't do it again because it's not causing us to win this fight at all.
Yeah, I think they are telling him that, but you know, when you're in that situation, I just don't think that he was in a shape to go this hard, this long, and Askham is, because you could see the pace going and pushing hard, and Askham seems to be building, and Michelin seems to be fading.
Askham's increasing his strength, increasing his power, increasing his punch rate.
And he's, you know, the confidence will overshadow conditioning. It'll make you go harder and longer because you know you're winning, and you'll keep pushing it and pushing it. Whereas when you feel like everything's going the other way, that tiredness really gets into your head. See, Michelin, he's got to get, there he goes. He got to get off. Can't wait.
Nice spot by Scott Askham to go ahead and keep Michelin off him. George Luis Bezerra, also known as Michelin, has been taking the better part of everything that Scott Askham decides to throw at him. He's having to eat it. Yeah, and other than holding the wrist right now and not taking any damage, every other position he's pretty much been getting beat up in.
Yeah, and it's almost like he's conceding the fight. It's like he's just kind of just going through the motions, man. You see the difference in attitude with Askham, the hungrier, going after it, wanting to finish the fight, whereas Michelin is just kind of waiting, and maybe I'll catch something, maybe I won't, but it's okay.
With less than 15 seconds left, there's really no way that Michelin's going to finish this fight and win it by any way.
No, he just laid down right here. That's it's a shame too, because you see a guy with that much skill and that much ability, you know, why waste it?
Especially in a world title fight.
Yeah.
To lay down like that, to have a chance to get the world belt for BAMMA, and you lay down 6 times by the fight.
Listen, I say to you, if you come to BAMMA fights, you better go all 3 rounds, because we ain't giving you any breaks.
Yeah, especially with the 2 of us at the table. We're going to be on the entire night.
Yeah, you better bring it.
That, to be honest with you, Ken, I'm a little disappointed in Michelin. I really thought he'd be better, to be more game. We're trying to do more on his feet, trying to do more on his side. Even now, at the end of the fight, he's having up walking around like trying to sell the judges, hey, I won. He's sitting in the corner, literally sitting against the cage. Like he doesn't even want to be here. He doesn't want to belong here. And props to Scott Askham, he's the new middleweight champ. Let's be honest. Like he went out there, he earned this position, was caught in a very deep armbar very early in the first round, and honestly fought technically sound, was very, very high-level jiu-jitsu player, got himself out of it, and dominated the entire fight from that moment on.
And I think that's how Askham actually built confidence, and Michelin lost confidence. He had that armbar in deep, it was there, he wasn't able to finish it. From that point on, it just looked like he didn't believe he could actually finish it.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at one of these replays this. Can you walk us through it real quick, please?
Yeah, you see right here where you go for a leg lock. Now, Mitchell's in a bad spot. You see Mitchell's face is wide open. Askham will sit up here and start throwing punches and elbowing right there. And you know, the thing is that Michelin didn't even act like anything was happening right here, man. When that happens, man, you got to push away with those legs and stand up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards for the final decision. Andy Roberts, Kevin Capel, and Nigel Burgess all score this bout 30-27 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And now, BAMMA World Middleweight Champion, Scott Askham.
Scott, how's that belt feel?
Feels really good, yeah. It's all part of the journey, but feels awesome to have it around the waist. I did believe one day I would get it without being sounding big-headed, but here it is, it's right around the waist.
Let's talk about that armbar you got caught in the first round. Just look deep from the commentary position. How was it from your end?
He was twisting his hips well into it, but it was never extended. Arm were always bent, but like I say, I had to defend it and it worked well.
It seemed like as the fight went on, he kept slowing down, getting slower and slower, and you kept getting faster and picking up the pace. Was it confidence? Was it being in shape? What was it? Because as it got close to the third round, you just kept running.
Look at these guys here who I've got in my corner here. Obviously, I owe a lot of credit to myself for hard work I put in, but the work these guys put into me, I've got a gas tank for days. If it can be a 10-rounder for me, I've got to go for days, and you'll see that every time I fight, I get in here and I'm ready for three or five rounds, whatever it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the new middleweight champ from BAMMA, Scott